Your blood is boiling. You're furious. You're in an argument. You've got the perfect comeback ready. You know you're right. You're about to destroy their entire argument. And then it happens. Your eyes start watering, your voice cracks, and suddenly you're crying. And you're even more angry because now you look weak when you're actually raging inside. Here's something that's going to blow your mind. Crying when you're angry isn't weakness. It's not you being too sensitive. Scientists just discovered it's actually your brain short-circuiting from emotional overload. And the people who cry when they're angry, they actually feel emotions more intensely than everyone else. This isn't a bug, it's a feature. And once you understand the psychology behind it, you'll never feel ashamed of it again. Let me describe a scenario you know too well. Someone says something that pisses you off. Maybe they're being condescending. Maybe they're gaslighting you. Maybe they just crossed the line. You feel that heat rising in your chest, your heart's pounding, your fists are clenched. You're ready to go off. You're prepared. You're angry and you have every right to be. But then your body betrays you. Tears, the exact opposite of what you want to happen. And now, instead of looking strong and angry, you look sad and weak. The person you're arguing with gets confused, or worse, they use it against you. Why are you crying? I'm not trying to upset you. But you're not upset, you're pissed. And this disconnect between what you feel and how your body reacts, there's actual brain science behind it. Your brain processes emotions in a specific area called the limbic system. And here's the thing, the limbic system doesn't really distinguish between different types of intense emotion. To your brain, anger, sadness, frustration, overwhelm, they all register as big emotion happening right now. When you feel any intense emotion, your body releases stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. Your nervous system goes into overdrive. And one of the ways your body tries to regulate this overwhelming feeling is tears. Tears aren't just for sadness, they're an emotional release valve. Your body's way of saying, this is too much, we need to let some of this out. Think of it like a pressure cooker. When the pressure builds up too high, steam has to escape. That's what tears are, emotional steam. But here's what makes anger crying different from sad crying. When you cry from sadness, there's usually a sense of defeat, resignation. You're processing loss or pain. But when you cry from anger, there's still fire inside. You're frustrated that your body is doing this. You want to fight, not cry. That internal conflict makes you even more upset. And that's the loop that traps people. You're angry, you start crying, you get angry that you're crying, you cry more, you get more angry. It's like your emotions are fighting each other. Psychologists call this emotional overwhelm. It's when you feel something so intensely that your body can't process it through just one channel, so it uses multiple outlets. Some people's hands shake, some people's voices crack, some people cry. And if you're someone who cries easily, which we talked about in that earlier video, you already know your emotional system runs hot. You're not less capable of handling anger, you just have a more sensitive nervous system. Your emotional responses are more intense across the board. When you're happy, you're really happy. When you're sad, you're really sad. And when you're angry, you're really angry. Your body just expresses all of it through tears. It's not about being weak, it's about being highly reactive. And there's actually a genetic component to this. Some people are born with nervous systems that are more sensitive to emotional stimuli. It's not something you can control or train yourself out of. Now, let's talk about why this happens more to some people than others. Women tend to cry when angry more than men, and society loves to use this as proof that women are too emotional. But that's BS. The real reason is biological and social. Biologically, women have higher levels of prolactin, the hormone that triggers tears. They're literally built to cry more easily. It's not weakness, it's chemistry. Socially, women are conditioned from childhood to suppress anger. Don't be aggressive, don't raise your voice, be nice, be polite. So when anger does come up, they don't have as many practiced outlets for it. The emotion builds up with nowhere to go, so it comes out as tears. Men are taught the opposite. Express anger freely, but suppress sadness. So when men feel sad, it sometimes comes out as anger. Same mechanism, different direction. But regardless of gender, if you cry when you're angry, you're dealing with something specific. You're dealing with powerlessness. That's usually what triggers anger tears. It's not just being mad, it's being mad and feeling like you can't do anything about it. Like when someone's being unfair and you can't make them understand. When you're being talked over and can't get your point across. When you know you're right but nobody's listening. When you're being invalidated or dismissed. That combination of anger plus helplessness, that's when the tears come, because your body is processing two intense emotions at once, rage at the situation and desperation to be heard. And this is where it connects to that overthinking at night thing we covered, because a lot of times these are the moments you replay at 2 a.m., the argument where you cried when you wanted to be strong, the confrontation where your body didn't cooperate with your emotions. Your brain chews on it, analyzing what you could have said differently, wishing you'd been able to control the tears. But here's what you need to understand. Those tears weren't your enemy. They were trying to help you. When you're overwhelmed with anger and your body makes you cry, it's actually trying to de-escalate the situation. Tears signal vulnerability. They make the other person less defensive. Sometimes they can actually open up communication that pure anger would have shut down. Not always. Sometimes people use your tears against you, but physiologically, your body is trying to regulate the situation. Here's what actually happens in your brain during anger crying. Your amygdala, the emotion center, is firing like crazy. It's sending distress signals throughout your body. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational part, is trying to maintain control, trying to articulate your argument clearly. But the emotional overload is too much. The amygdala overrides the prefrontal cortex, and your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in with tears to try to calm everything down. It's literally a neurological traffic jam, too many signals happening at once, and tears are your brain's way of trying to clear the congestion. But here's the part that's going to change how you see this. People who cry when they're angry are actually more emotionally intelligent than less. They're deeply in touch with their feelings. They care intensely. They have strong convictions. They're not okay with injustice or being treated poorly. The tears aren't weakness. They're passion. They're proof you give a damn. Think about it. The opposite isn't someone who's angry without crying. The opposite is someone who doesn't feel strongly enough to get angry in the first place. Someone who's emotionally disconnected. Someone who doesn't care. You cry because you care, because it matters, because you're fully feeling your emotions instead of suppressing them. So here's how to actually deal with this when it happens. First, stop fighting the tears. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but when you try to hold them back, you create more tension, which creates more tears. It's a trap. Instead, acknowledge them. I'm crying because I'm angry, not because I'm sad. Say it out loud if you need to. Second, take a tactical pause. If you're in an argument and the tears start, it's okay to say, I need a minute. Step away, breathe, let your nervous system reset. You don't have to push through while you're emotionally flooded. Third, find other physical outlets for the anger. Before or after the confrontation, do something physical. Punch a pillow, go for a run, scream in your car. Give your body other ways to release that intense energy. Fourth, practice the skill of expressing anger calmly. This sounds impossible, but it's not. You can say, I'm really angry about this, in a controlled voice while tears are running down your face. The tears don't negate your words. State your position clearly and let the tears do their thing. Fifth, stop apologizing for the tears. Don't say, sorry, I don't know why I'm crying. You do know why. You're angry and overwhelmed. That's valid. Own it. I'm crying because this matters to me, and I'm frustrated. And here's what you need to stop doing. Stop letting people dismiss your anger because you're crying. You're too emotional to have this conversation. No, you're emotional and you're having this conversation. The tears don't make your points less valid. Stop feeling ashamed. Shame makes everything worse. Your body is doing what it's designed to do. There's no moral failing in having tears. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Some people can rage without crying. Good for them. That's not you, and that's okay. Your emotional expression is different, not wrong. Here's the bottom line. If you cry when you're angry, you're not broken. You're not too sensitive. You're not weak. You're someone who feels things deeply, who cares intensely, who has a nervous system that processes emotions through multiple channels. That's not a flaw. That's being fully human. The world tries to make you feel like emotional expression is weakness, like the ideal is to be stone-faced and controlled at all times. But that's not strength. That's suppression, and suppression leads to all kinds of psychological and physical health problems down the line. Your tears when you're angry are your body's wisdom. Trust them, work with them, stop fighting them. And to anyone who's ever used your tears against you, who's dismissed your anger because you were crying, who's made you feel less than because your body responds differently than theirs, they're wrong. Your tears don't make you less credible, they make you honest. So next time you're in an argument and you feel those tears coming, don't panic. Don't apologize. Just let them fall while you speak your truth, because you can be crying and right at the same time. Angry tears aren't weakness. They're proof you're still fighting. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe for more psychology that validates your experiences instead of making you feel broken.